an unexpected pleasure, and it's shocking too, because I had no way of knowing that this would ever happen, but in the latter part of our lives, a lot of things have happened that we could not have anticipated. It's a very, very great honor.
You know, as 80-year-olds, you don't really get that many overwhelming things. This is not a dream, it's for real.
At least I feel that this is a change that we get to try and correct a small piece of it, but that we can stand up and stand out for the state of Arkansas. And so I'm proud to be a part of this group, and here we are sitting out here talking about submarines that as a kid growing up, I didn't know what, I thought a submarine was something that Walt Disney created.
I am so proud of the fact to see the diversity among the shipbuilders. So progress has been made in our country, and I really do feel good about that.
First name is Minnie Jean Brown, Elizabeth Eckford, Ernest Green,
Thelma Mothershed, Melba Patillo, Gloria Ray, Terrence Roberts,
Jefferson Thomas, and Carlotta Walls.
When I hear the Little Rock Nine, I think of history. I think of all the obstacles that we've come through as a country.
Bravery, integrity, heart.
It's kind of hard to really grasp what they went through.
I think they were very courageous in what they did. You know, it was a time-changing moment.
I feel like it was very harsh towards them because they were trying to, you know, get a better education.
Yeah, I was born in a small town called Helena, Arkansas, which is about 2.5 hours from Little Rock. I think my earliest memories of the Little Rock Nine was like around 6th grade. They started, you know, of course it was around Black History Month. You know, everybody knew about the, you know, the Mount Rushmore of Black history, and then they introduced the Little Rock Nine to us. In 1954, the Supreme Court ruled that through Brown versus the Board of Education, which was led by Thurgood Marshall, that segregation in schools was wrong and that it was time to integrate. And as we all know, a lot of southern states felt like this was wrong. When it came to Arkansas, they had already had some of the schools integrated, but they wanted to integrate Central, Little Rock Central. And at that time, it was like one of the best schools in the nation. And at first there were 17 African Americans that volunteered to go to Central. And some of them dropped out as the time came to go to school, as you know, for fear for their life and their parents losing their jobs and stuff like that. So the 9 that went to go, of course you're gonna get people, you know, hitting on you and spitting at you and throwing stuff at you, but you know, this is your purpose and you have to complete the goal. And the goal was to further your education and get into the school.
And when I think of those children, those innocent children who just wanted an education, they had not done anything else wrong, they just wanted to learn. It makes me so angry. And it breaks my heart that that's where we were as a country. And these moments in history that we see that are hard to fathom, that I can't imagine living through, but others did, and they've come through it. And it's just, it's heartbreaking to see that that's how we used to treat people, just based on the color of their skin.
Governor Orville Forbes, he brought in the National Guard, and his orders were to keep the peace and keep down the violence. So he brought the National Guard in, and they kept the Little Rock Nine from getting into the school.
The President and the executive branch of government will support and ensure the carrying out of the decisions of the federal courts.
So that's where Eisenhower came in with the military at that point in time. He came to the school and said that they would literally walk the Little Rock Nine into school to make sure that they got in safely. But I guess that kind of goes back to with them having to struggle, because once they got into school, it was, you know, not under their protection at that point in time.
And we don't even know the half of what happened to them inside that school. So just to see what they went through and how far that we've come from that because of them, I'm forever thankful and grateful. So we have a special opportunity here at Shipbuilders to do something that no one else does. We build nuclear-powered warships, and with the Arkansas, we have an even more special opportunity. Our sponsor is the Little Rock Nine, and to be able to honor them and to remember that history, it almost brings a new sense of pride into what we do.
I'm proud. I don't even want the submarine to leave the building. You know, because it's like, wow, like I'm really working on a new Virginia-class submarine by the name of Arkansas that's got some meaning behind it.
I mean, I feel proud in my heart because I take pride in my job, what I do, because I know that my grandkids can serve on this ship.
I'm very proud of what I do. It's a good feeling knowing that I put my hand, heart, and soul into that, and it's a good feeling.
You know, me being in the 6th grade, just learning about 9 courageous African Americans, Little Rock 9, who stepped forward and took their place in the history books. And what an honor it is for us as shipbuilders to take our step forward and take such a dark place in our history and make this submarine a beacon of hope for us all, and that anything is possible.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and welcome to the christening ceremony for Virginia-class submarine Arkansas, SSN 800. I'm Christy Miller, Director of Communications for Newport News Shipbuilding, and it's my pleasure to welcome you and introduce our platform guests. If everyone would please rise as the official party takes its place on the platform. Please welcome Captain Hannah Krewalt, Commanding Officer, Supervisor of Shipbuilding, Newport News. Lieutenant Philip Kaufman, Chaplain, United States Navy. Mr. Mark Rea, President, General Dynamics Electric Boat. Commander Michael Huber, Commanding Officer, Arkansas, SSN 800. Captain Michael Hollenbach, Program Manager, Virginia-class Submarine Program. Rear Admiral Jonathan Rucker, Program Executive Officer, Attack Submarines. The Honorable Philip Jones, Mayor, City of Newport News. Admiral Bill Houston, Director, Naval Nuclear Propulsion Program. The Honorable French Hill, 2nd Congressional District, Arkansas. The Honorable Thomas Mancinelli, Acting Undersecretary of the Navy. The Honorable Carlos Del Toro, Secretary of the Navy. Ms. Jennifer Boykin, President, Newport News Shipbuilding. And now, please welcome members of the Little Rock Nine and ship sponsors for Virginia-class submarine Arkansas. Ms. Elizabeth Eckford. Ms. Carlotta Walls-Lanier, and Ms. Gloria Ray Carlmark. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the Parade of Colors and the National Anthem. The Parade of Colors is by the Mountain Home Bomber Battalion, Navy Junior ROTC. This will be followed by the National Anthem, performed by Newport News shipbuilder, Ms. Mavis Eccles. Color Guard, parade the colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleam, whose broad spire and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Color Guard, retire the colors. Ladies and gentlemen, to deliver today's invocation, please welcome Lieutenant Philip Kaufman, Navy Chaplain.
Good morning. Let us pray. Most High God, we are thankful for an absolutely gorgeous day. We gather remembering, connecting, and creating American history. In your word, remembering is center to everything done in the future. Today, standing in the shadows of the Americans lost in Pearl Harbor 83 years ago, connecting the courage and dedication of the Little Rock Nine and the might of the future USS Arkansas, we witness a sacred bond between ship crew, sponsor, and a shipbuilder, steeped in naval history. And Eternal Father, we recognize American history being made. Side by side, we stand together to step forward as the PCU Arkansas is brought closer to becoming our next fast attack apex predator under the sea. Humbly, Lord, we ask you to bless every hand, keep all hearts unified, give them peace each and every day as the journey continues. In all things we do pray. Amen.
Please be seated. And now, please welcome Newport News Shipbuilding President, Ms. Jennifer Boykin.
Good morning. It is with great pride that I welcome you to Newport News Shipbuilding and to the christening of the Virginia-class submarine Arkansas SSN 800. Distinguished platform guests, HII board members and leadership, Navy flag officers, elected officials, union leadership, the Arkansas Commissioning Committee, the Arkansas crew, shipbuilders, ladies and gentlemen, we are so pleased that you could join us and take part in this special day. I want to give a special thanks to Lieutenant Philip Kaufman for delivering the invocation, to the U.S. Fleet Forces Ceremonial Band, and the Mountain Home Bomber Battalion Navy Junior ROTC for traveling from the great state of Arkansas to present our nation's colors. I'd also like to give a special thanks to our own video team for providing the incredible video that kicked off today's ceremony, giving us a glimpse of the enduring story of our sponsors. I'd like to thank our own Mavis Eccles, a project manager analyst in the Virginia-class submarine program and an Arkansas native, for her incredible performance of the national anthem. It's a privilege to be here with such an impressive crowd, especially our guests of honor. As members of the Little Rock Nine, they embody courage, determination, and resilience, and they inspire all of us. Please join me in welcoming Arkansas sponsors, Miss Elizabeth Eckford, Miss Gloria Ray Kalmark, and Miss Carlotta Walls-Lanier. Today, we celebrate the mighty submarine Arkansas, and we honor bravery and impact, the heroes and the historic moments that shape our future and that make us who we are. Christenings have been a part of shipbuilding for thousands of years. Ancient mariners believed that ships had a spirit and personality of their own, and therefore a proper naming and blessing was essential for safe navigation. Today, our christening ceremony marks a significant milestone in our submarines construction, taking us one step closer to final outfitting of the submarine spaces, testing of all of her systems, and delivery to the United States Navy. And how fitting it is to host this christening on December 7th, a day defined by acts of bravery that changed our world. December 7th, 1941, the day that the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. The surprise attack shocked the American people, united a previously divided nation, and spurred the United States into World War II. Yet, the day was also marked with feats of bravery, as young sailors, nurses, and more risked their lives to save the lives of others and ultimately our nation. The American landscape changed forever that day, and for another reason as well. 4,000 miles from Pearl Harbor, while the country was just learning about the attack, a baby was born to a family in Little Rock, Arkansas. Her name was Melba Patillo Beals, and she would become one of the Little Rock Nine. Unfortunately, Melba couldn't be with us today, but we are gathered here this morning to honor the bravery that she and 8 other Black students demonstrated when integrating Central High School in Little Rock. As high school students, as young teenagers, they exhibited courage and showed the American people what determination and perseverance look like. Their spirit guided them then, and today, SSN 800 will be instilled with this same spirit of courage, determination, and resilience. Acting on behalf of the Little Rock Nine, Carlotta Walls Lanier will soon break a bottle of American sparkling wine against the submarine's bow, officially naming and signifying the sponsor's connection to the boat forever. When Arkansas joins the fleet, she will travel deep beneath the sea, protecting the sailors who live and work aboard her to ensure peace and to protect our freedoms. Just like the Little Rock Nine, Arkansas's crew stands tall, facing threats head-on to ensure the American dream continues. Our shipbuilders also stand tall, proud to support our sailors. Newport News Shipbuilding works with the Navy, our partners at General Dynamics Electric Boat, and our 5,000 suppliers nationwide to build nuclear-powered submarines for the silent service. It's a noble calling and one we take pride in. I personally will forever carry that pride with me. I will never forget the sight of 2 submarine modules being meticulously brought together within thousandths of an inch for a final join, or the sounds of tugs and whistles as they pull a ship away from a pier for the last time to head on to sea trials from which she will return and enter service, or the smells of steel, weld smoke, and oil that come home with you after a hard day's work, that smell of freedom. These are sights, sounds, and smells that every shipbuilder recognizes as part of what we call the romance of shipbuilding. Celebrations like today have been my favorite way of highlighting the incredible work that our shipbuilders do while I've had the privilege to serve as president of Newport News Shipbuilding, and they will remain some of my favorite memories. I will soon be retiring, completing my 37-year shipbuilding career and following the honor of a lifetime, serving as the president of this great team. And while I was the first woman to do so, the distinction is not about me. There's a responsibility that comes with being the first. It's about making sure that you're not the last. That is what our courageous sponsors knew in 1957, and the Little Rock Nine certainly achieved this. They risked so much to open doors for others, and their sacrifice still impacts us today. They are truly American heroes, and it is my honor to celebrate with them as part of my last christening ceremony. To my shipbuilders, experiencing the pride of our shipyard family is easy during milestone events like this one, but I believe it shines brightest during those tough, deep in the trenches days when we muster our resolve to tackle big, complex challenges. Those days do not see big fanfare. Those days do not bring cheering crowds. But shipbuilders, those are the days that make us who we are. We see it in the work of master shipbuilder Kermit Wiggins Jr., a 40-year sheet metal mechanic whose dedication inspired us to name him Newport News Shipbuilding's first ever Tradesperson of the Year. We also see this in the commitment of Timothy Hartwell Sr., a member of our electrical test team that supports submarines like Arkansas. His commitment and energy felt across the submarine program resulted in him being awarded the first ever Workforce Star by the Naval Submarine League. Kermit and Timothy always take time to mentor others and to stress the importance of safety and quality. They are 2 bright, shining examples of the talent and dedication that Newport News shipbuilders possess. Shipbuilders, what you do matters, and I want you to remember this. Your work has the power to make an impact. It's this power that fueled our sailors at Pearl Harbor and inspires the Arkansas crew with us today. It's this power that propelled each step of the Little Rock Nine as they cross the threshold at Central High School. And it's this power that ignites the hearts of shipbuilders, current and future, to give their all in building ships for the U.S. Navy. So as we celebrate today's milestone, remember the impact that this submarine will one day have, and harness your power together as one team to keep our nation free. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, who is a proud advocate for our Navy, our shipbuilders, and especially our city. He is committed to improving education, investing in public safety, and modernizing all that our great community has to offer. We are proud to work with him on these efforts as we continue to create this great city. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mayor Philip Jones.
Thank you for that kind introduction, Jennifer. I want to thank you for those 37 years of dedicated partnership to our city and service to our shipyard. I wish you the best in your retirement, as we say, fair winds and following seas. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to Newport News, your all-America city. Together, we've come to celebrate the spirit of community and innovation that defines this wonderful city. Here in Newport News, we like to say we smash atoms, we build nuclear-powered submarines and aircraft carriers, and we are a city that is truly built on breakthroughs. In this city, we take immense pride in the tireless dedication and the remarkable skill of all of our shipbuilders. In fact, I want to take a moment. Let's recognize the nearly 4,000 Newport News shipbuilders who have supported the innovation and construction of the Arkansas. These hardworking individuals not only construct world-class vessels with unparalleled craftsmanship, they embody the spirit, the dedication, and the resilience of this community. The contributions of these individuals are not confined within our city limits. The impact of our shipbuilders' work echoes throughout the Commonwealth, our nation, and across the globe. The ships built here play a critical role in securing our national defense and bolstering our economy. The City of Newport News extends our gratitude and unwavering support to every single shipbuilder. Your commitment is the backbone of maritime heritage and the promise of our future. To my fellow servicemen and women, to Commander Huber and the 135 dedicated officers and crew, we extend our deepest appreciation for your commitment to our country. Sir, we appreciate you. Thank you all. And thank you to the ship sponsor, the women of the Little Rock Nine. Today, we are humbled by your presence, Miss Elizabeth Eckford, Miss Gloria Kalmark, and Miss Carlita Lanier. In fact, this morning, I spoke with your mayor, Mayor Frank Scott of Little Rock, Arkansas, and he said he wanted to deliver a joint statement. So this is from two mayors coming here today. Your courageous actions broke racial barriers and sparked change in the civil rights movement. Your legacy serves as a powerful reminder of the impact that courage and determination can have in the face of adversity. You continue to inspire and remind all of us that the fight for justice and equality is ongoing. It is true that in Newport News, on the historic shores of the James River, we have been a destination for those seeking a strong sense of belonging rather than self, to be a part of something larger than yourself. It's where shipbuilders, service members, engineers, innovators have always built forward towards their tomorrow. It is from the work of these individuals within our community that the impact of who we are will continue to stretch far and wide. And finally, congratulations to Newport News Shipbuilding, to the U.S. Navy, Mr. Secretary, Mr. Speaker, and the ship sponsor, the women of the Little Rock Nine, on the christening of the Arkansas. The residents of Arkansas can be proud that this ship carries their state's name. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, Mayor Jones. It is now my pleasure to introduce my fellow shipbuilder and our next speaker. He assumed presidency of General Dynamics Electric Boat this week after serving as the shipyard's Senior Vice President and Chief Operating Officer. He comes to the role with decades of experience in the defense industry, and we know him to be a committed shipbuilder, a great teammate, and a dedicated American. We look forward to working with him to build America's submarines. Please give a warm Newport News welcome to our partner, the new president of General Dynamics Electric Boat, Mr. Mark Rea.
Thank you, Jennifer. And on behalf of the 25,000 men and women of Electric Boat, thank you for your service. Thank you for your leadership. You've set an example for all of us on how to lead a shipyard, and we're all better for it. I'm honored to take part in the christening of the Arkansas, the 27th ship of the Virginia class. And also, more importantly, to be part of a ceremony honoring the Little Rock Nine. To the ship sponsors in attendance today, Elizabeth Eckford, Gloria Ray Karlmark, and Carletta Walls, thank you for your determination, your perseverance, and more importantly, your courage, as you stood up against racial segregation 67 years ago. America had been described as a great experiment, a work in progress, never perfect, a beacon to the world because of the freedoms that define our nation. As you walked through the doors of Little Rock Central High School 67 years ago, you opened the doors of freedom for those who would follow in your footsteps to equal education. 83 years ago today, our country was attacked. The future SSN Arkansas, like the fleet of nuclear-powered submarines she will join, is a deterrence ensuring that our shores will never again be breached. This amazing submarine, the most complicated machine built by humans, exists to ensure that the American experiment continues. And while I've been on the job only a week, as Jennifer pointed out, in my 5 years at EB, I have had the opportunity to go underway on a Virginia-class submarine during sea trials. The level of workmanship you all put in is amazing. The ship is awe-inspiring in its precision and its stealth. I look forward to many more sea trials working with this team as we continue to deliver the submarines this nation needs. So to fulfill this mission, Electric Boat, Newport News, and our suppliers together are working through a once-in-a-lifetime rebuild of our industrial base. At Electric Boat, we have the advantage of 125 years of shipbuilding experience and history, rising to the challenge of submarine design and delivery by innovating our way around obstacles. For today's challenges, this means working on a more sophisticated basis, becoming agile in our processes, and further strengthening our collaborative skills, since, as we all know, shipbuilding is a team sport. To the shipbuilders, thank you for what you do. Your job is extraordinarily important in this time of our history. You are the people who will write the next chapter in what we do as a nation, and we're looking forward to that. Think about our sponsors here today and the legacy they created so early in their lives. You will do the same. You also have the opportunity to make a difference in our country through your hard work, courage, tenacity, and creativity, and finding a way, a better way, no matter what it takes, and no matter what your job is. Electric Boat looks forward to working on this journey with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Congratulations again. Our next speaker has a unique perspective on the impact of nuclear-powered submarines. As Director of Naval Nuclear Propulsion Program, he is responsible for all aspects of the branch's nuclear propulsion, including design, construction, maintenance, and disposal. He comes to this role with years of experience as a submariner and as a former commander of the U.S. Navy's submarine forces. We are grateful to have him with us today. Please welcome Admiral Bill Houston.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your dedication, and thank you for your leadership at Newport News. It's been incredible. So good morning and welcome. It's an incredible honor to be here to speak today. It's a great day for our Navy to recognize the great state of Arkansas with another warship, the USS Arkansas SSN 800. Commander Huber, Newport News team, and our ship sponsors, congratulations. Despite being a landlocked state, Arkansas has carried the name of 5 U.S. ships. The most recent 3 warships were the battleship Arkansas that served both in World War I and World War II, and luckily avoided Pearl Harbor in the Atlantic by serving in the Atlantic. Also a nuclear power cruiser of the Virginia class that steamed over 30,000 miles over an 18-year career, and now PCU Arkansas, which will certainly steam further and operate much longer than that. And it's a great honor to have the name of Arkansas back in the fleet. Admiral Rickover remarked that building, sustaining, and operating nuclear power ships is very difficult work. The burdens of a strong defense are heavy, he said, but those who wish the blessings of liberty must accept the fatigue of supporting it. And I can tell you, the submariners, the shipbuilders, the United States, which is an entire country which helped build the submarine, from vendors, from academia, from around the world, EB, Newport News, BPMI, Naval Reactors, NAVC, they all played a role in this. And there's a lot of work between now and sea trials and commissioning, but I know Commander Huber and the entire team here is ready to take on that challenge. Our submarines are truly an apex predator. They have no equal. It is what creates that deterrence. It is what creates that uncertainty in our potential adversaries. And it's because of the hard work and the craftsmanship here and Electric Boat that enables us to do that. And our Arkansas crew and their families, while they shoulder that responsibility, they have an incredible set of sponsors that I had the privilege to have dinner with last night with Elizabeth, Gloria, what an incredible speech, and Carlotta. I just can't wait to see you smash that American wine up there, the sparkling wine. You face adversity with your heads held high, and you demonstrate courageous spirit. You were resilient. And Commander Huber, your charge, and your charge to all who follow you on the Arkansas, is to be resilient, demonstrate that courageous spirit, never give up, and challenge what is possible. Again, I wish to thank that incredible team across our nation that built this submarine. It is truly a team effort. So today, let's celebrate our shipbuilders. Let's celebrate our Navy. Let's remember December 7th, a day that will live in infamy, but also a day that united us as Americans and showed again for the world what America can do when we're united, and how the Little Rock Nine united us with their courage, their resilience, and it is carried forward on this tremendous warship we are about to christen. So God bless America, God bless the U.S. Navy, and God bless the sailors who sail in U.S. Arkansas. Thank you.
Thank you, Admiral Houston. Our next speaker traveled from the great state of Arkansas to be here with us today. A 9th generation Arkansas, and I don't know how to say person from Arkansas, Arkansanan. ninth generation representing Arkansas's 2nd Congressional District since January of 2015. Prior to his congressional service, he served in a number of federal government positions, including Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Treasury for Corporate Finance and Executive Secretary to President George H.W. Bush's Economic Policy Council. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Congressman French Hill.
Good morning. Mr. Secretary, Mr. Mayor, thank you for assembling us, our naval leadership, my fellow Arkansans that are here, the skipper and crew. We do remember and we talk about courage today. You've heard that word consistently. Courage on 7 December 1941. We remember all those lost. We remember the trauma that tipped off. Courage in September 1957 by our sponsors, and courage of the crew and the future of the United States Navy. So I want to start by thanking Jennifer, thanking Huntington Ingalls Industries and Newport News Shipbuilding for the invitation to be with you today, and for witnessing the extraordinary success of America's craftsmen in our industrial base. It's a privilege to be with you here today as we christen the United States Navy's newest Virginia-class attack submarine, Arkansas, truly an undersea fighting Razorback. I'm proud to represent the 2nd Congressional District in Arkansas, which includes Little Rock, and it includes Little Rock Central High School. 2024 has been an important year in Arkansas as we recognize modern heroes in our state. For the first time in a century, our state has unveiled 2 new statues in Statuary Hall in the U.S. Capitol. Since 1864, each state submits 2 names and 2 statues to represent their state in our Capitol. 2 new faces represent the spirit and hope of all Arkansans. Johnny Cash, the legendary singer and songwriter, in September. And last May, Daisy Gaston Bates, the civil rights icon and no stranger to 3 of our distinguished sponsors here with us today, the Little Rock Nine. For it was Daisy and her husband that provided so much guidance, shelter, and advice to the Little Rock Nine as they attempted to change the face of our country. And that was indeed courage. And Johnny and Daisy Bates shared in a real effort at talking to the American people about changing history and speaking out for those forgotten and the downtrodden. They share that legacy, and now they share it in perpetuity in the U.S. Capitol. So what an honor it is to have our state's namesake, Arkansas, honor the heroes that are the Little Rock Nine. Over the course of our nation's 250-year history, we've watched Americans step up and lead battles which they might not be victorious in, and that includes that fight for a more perfect union. And that includes all Americans in all aspects of our life, regardless of their skin color, that they are treated with equality. As an Arkansan and as a Little Rock native, I'm proud of the Little Rock Nine's brave actions in integrating Little Rock Central High, and that they'll be remembered forever in that unparalleled step to ending the horrible concept of separate but equal. Soon the sailors of the greatest Navy in the world will defend those rights around the globe, under the sea, aboard the Arkansas. Thank you for having me today, and congratulations.
Thank you, Congressman Hill. It is now my pleasure to introduce today's principal speaker. As our nation's 78th Secretary of the Navy, he leads nearly 1 million sailors, Marines, reservists, and civilian personnel stationed around the globe. He personally served in the Navy for 22 years, including a series of critical appointments and tours of duty at sea. He is no stranger to Newport News Shipbuilding, and we are pleased to celebrate this momentous occasion with him today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Honorable Carlos Del Toro.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Newport News. Good morning, Virginia. Are you out there? Are you just a little bit cold? Well, the good news is I'm the last speaker. The bad news is I'm the principal speaker, so I speak the longest. But the good news is that I'm from New York City and not Arkansas, and I'll speak a little faster. Now, chaps, forgive me all, because I did tell chaps, I said, we need good weather, chaps, but I forgot to tell them we needed it just a little bit warmer. But on the positive side of things, since I've been secretary, I've always said that we need to train the way that we fight. And I have all the confidence in the world that the crew of Arkansas will one day find itself under the ice pack, conducting operations in the Arctic, right, against our adversaries up north, and this will be good training for you starting now. So congratulations to you. But it is wonderful to be here with you in Newport News. And I'll tell you, in the 3.5 years that I've been secretary, I've had a tremendously exciting ride. And I can't help but reflect back to 2021 when I actually commissioned the USS Inouye on December 7th of 2021, great American World War II hero. And that was a very, very proud day back then. And just 2 days ago, I had the honor of actually laying the keel for the Thurgood Marshall, one of our TAEs that will go on to be one of our nation's most needed oilers that will operate throughout the globe as well too, and the Marshall family was there with us then. Last night, to pay commemoration to all of the World War II heroes at the White House with the President in honor of the events on December 7th. And now to be here today with you ladies in honor of your legacy as well. Congressman Hill, thank you for serving as a representative for the state of Arkansas and the people of the 2nd District. From Benton County to Chico County, your state is filled with more than 3 million proud Americans that we hope to honor with this submarine. Acting Undersecretary Mancinelli, thanks for your service from the days of the Naval Academy to the days as Acting Undersecretary of the Navy. Mayor Jones, it's also great to have another Naval Academy graduate here today with us as well too, sir. Thanks for your leadership here in Newport News. And thank you, Jennifer, for all that you've done for this shipyard, for our Navy, for our nation. And we are so very proud of the record that you have set. And I look forward to perhaps seeing you on a beach in the Caribbean in the next month. What do you think? Admiral Houston, what can I say? I had the honor of nominating you to be the next Hyman Rickover of our nation. And I'm so proud of the work that you've done since then and the work that you will continue to do for the next 6 years in building these great ships, operating them, keeping our sailors safe, and having them protect our national interests around the world. To Admiral Rucker, Captain Holtenbach, Captain Crywell, thank you for your service, dedication, and advocacy for our submarine force. And finally, to the commander, to the captain, Michael Huber, you have been entrusted with a warship and its crew. 23 years ago, I was in your shoes. I know how important this is. Enjoy every single moment of it. This morning, we gather on a day that carries immense significance to our nation's history, the anniversary, the memorial, the attack on Pearl Harbor. 73 years ago, our world was forever changed by an unthinkable assault that led to the loss of thousands of brave servicemen and women. As we stand here today, we pay tribute to their memory and honor their very sacrifice. It is because of their courage that we have the freedom to gather and celebrate the commissioning of a new symbol of strength and resolve, our newest Virginia-class attack submarine, the USS Arkansas. And I am also honored to welcome the members of the Little Rock Nine with us here today. And would you please stand again right now and be recognized? Ladies. Thank you. Doesn't everybody feel warmer when you can get up clap your hands and jump around a little bit. In 1957, 3 years after the United States Supreme Court declared segregated classrooms unconstitutional, Mr. Ernest Green, Ms. Elizabeth Eckford, Mr. Jefferson Thomas, Mr. Terrence Roberts, Ms. Carlota Lanier, Mr. Minihan Brown, Ms. Melba Beals, and Ms. Thelma Mothershed, and Ms. Gloria Kalmark integrated Little Rock High School. And they were known as the Little Rock Nine. The Little Rock Nine endured harassment, threats, and hatred from those who wanted to deny them their rights and who ultimately wished them harm. Yes, against all odds, the Little Rock Nine rose to become the icons of civil rights movement, paving the way for desegregation in schools across the nation. And I am proud and grateful that they will serve as our ship sponsors for the USS Arkansas, guiding this ship and her crew at every stage of the ship's life. As we celebrate today, we also mourn the recent loss of one of the Little Rock Nine, Ms. Thelma Mothershed Ware, who passed away in October. While she is no longer with us, her spirit, resilience, and activism still lives on. And as we look at this magnificent vessel, we see more than just a submarine. We see a powerful embodiment of the spirit and dedication which define our nation and indeed our country, a testament of the innovation and expertise of our shipbuilders and our engineers. We also see the spirit of progress. Progress. To paraphrase Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we see a nation whose arc is long but bends towards justice. And let us all pray that the arc continues to bend toward justice and not toward vindictiveness, nor revenge, nor hate. Towards those that serve our nation in uniform as well as civil servants, proud civil servants and service members that they are. The state for which this vessel was named is unique, not only for its breathtaking landscapes, but also because it is the only diamond-bearing state in the United States. Just as diamonds are formed under pressure, USS Arkansas symbolizes our collective strength, forged in commitment and sacrifice. She will navigate the depths of the oceans with the same grace and determination that characterized the rugged terrain of her namesake. With her advanced systems, formidable presence, and crewed by our nation's best and brightest, USS Arkansas will play a vital role in maintaining our strategic advantage, ensure our readiness in response to any challenge, and protect our nation's interests both at home and abroad. As the fifth vessel to bear the name USS Arkansas, as was said, she will be a key asset in a continued effort to deter aggression, gather intelligence, and project power in critical regions around the globe. Yet, even as we look towards the future of our Navy, we must never forget the lessons of our past. The third Arkansas may not have been moored at Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, as was mentioned, but within a week, she was protecting convoys across the North Atlantic and later participated in shore bombardment at Omaha Beach during the invasion of Normandy and the battles of Iwo Jima and Okinawa. The memory of those who perished at Pearl Harbor serves as a constant reminder of the sacrifices made by our armed forces to protect our freedoms. Their bravery in the face of adversity inspires us to face the challenges of today with unwavering resolve. And the courage and the resilience of those who have pioneered our American experiment for nearly 250 years, those who have heroically fought for the rights that we enjoy today, propel us forward. Today, geopolitical tensions are rising and the new threats are emerging in regions around the world. We must remain vigilant and adaptable, ensuring that our submarines are equipped to counteract a diverse array of potential adversaries. Our commitment to ensuring the safety and security of our nation depends on maintaining a robust and a ready submarine force. To the sailors of the USS Arkansas, as you embark on your missions, know that you carry with you the traditions of Southern hospitality, forging bonds of camaraderie and trust within your crew and among you, those you encounter around the world. This spirit will be your strength as you work together to ensure the success of your vital missions. I ask of you one thing: embody the spirit of the Razorback. Be fiercely determined, strong, resilient, face challenges head on and demonstrate the unwavering resolve and courage that define the people of Arkansas, the Naval Service, and indeed our entire nation. May God continue to watch over this ship, her crew, her families, and may they have fair winds and following seas wherever they may sail. As I close out my time as your 78th Secretary of the Navy, please know that my wife and Betty and I will always carry you in our hearts and prayers till our dying days. Go Hogs, and thank you very much for the privilege of speaking before you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. It is now my honor to introduce our next speaker, who was chosen by her fellow Little Rock 9 members to speak on their behalf. At age 14, she was the youngest to integrate Central High. After college, she led a successful career as a real estate broker. She raised a family and continues to give back to her community. I've had the privilege of meeting Carlita and the fellow sponsors when we laid the keel for Arkansas in 2022. And I can't tell you how powerful it is to have these historic figures amongst our midst, and we are truly honored that each of you has traveled here today. Representing the Little Rock 9, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Carlotta Walls-Lanier.
Good morning. All right. On behalf of my fellow members of the Little Rock 9, I want to thank the distinguished guests with us today, including the Newport News Shipbuilding and Navy leadership, the elected officials that are here in the audience and on dais, and the proud shipbuilders and crew of the submarine Arkansas SSN 800. I also like to thank our family and friends who have traveled here to be with us. Once again, some of the females of the Little Rock 9 who are honored sponsors return to be a part of this special occasion, the christening of Arkansas, a nuclear-powered submarine. We were last here to participate in the keel laying ceremony and have our initials welded to one day live aboard the submarine. We watched in awe as the chosen welders performed the task of copying our initials. I can still remember the day years ago, I think it was 2016 or 2015, when the Secretary of the Navy, Ray Mabus, called me from overseas to ask if the females of the Little Rock 9 would sponsor a new submarine that would be commissioned as the USS Arkansas. I gathered with my group and we discussed it. I was also told that the Navy tradition says that the spirit of the sponsor lives in the submarine, its crew, and its shipbuilders. We were excited and accepted the responsibility, despite our age. I do not stand here alone today, but as with all who are present here and others not with us, we are a part of a community and a team, as was mentioned earlier, as the Summer Olympics reminded us. None of us make it to the end alone. We all have help. 67 years ago, this past September, as we later became known as the Little Rock 9, we met at a gathering spot on September 4th, 1957, we didn't walk alone. We were led by ministers, and some call them ambassadors of God. But we didn't enter that day due to the governor's orders to refuse our entry and any other person of color entry. We entered for the first time on September 23rd, but within hours we were spirited out of the school for our safety. The 9 of us returned on September 25th, and were led by over 1,000 troopers from the 101st Airborne, known as the Screaming Eagles, who had made a huge name for themselves in World War II. They escorted us into the school. And once we got into the school, we each spent our day as the only black student in a class of white students. Each day we went to school, and then we came straight home. Extracurricular activities weren't allowed for us. Imagine doing your work, not speaking to any of your coworkers, and never going for an adult beverage after your work day was over. So we had to be hyper vigilant in class because we had no one to call to get or to talk about or go over the assignment that had been given to us. And that year, our days were interrupted by over 40 bomb threats. Our lockers were not useful or safe, so we carried all of our books and projects from class to class. Now imagine taking all of your tools with you when you moved from one assignment to the next. We had to pay attention. I want to mention 3 names today. They haven't been, well, actually they were spoken aloud just recently. Then in 1957, we were just Elizabeth, Ernest, Gloria, Jefferson, Melba, Minnie Jean, Terrence, Thelma, and Carlotta. 3 boys and 6 girls. Jefferson Thomas is no longer with us, but of us all, Jefferson was perhaps the one who kept our spirits up. He was the first to make a joke, to remind us that after all, we were just 9 teenagers going to high school. And in the past 6 weeks, Thelma Mother Shed Ware also left this world. Thelma was the smallest in physical stature of all of us. She was the one who you naturally wanted to protect. So now we are 7. The other person I want to mention is my mother, Juanita Walls, who died this year at 99 years of age. And I think of the mothers 80 years ago today, Pearl Harbor Day, who worried about their sons far from home and prayed that they would come home again. When I went to school that fall, 67 years ago, my mother was 32 years old. And on September 23rd, her hair started turning from black to gray. We have watched our various presidents' hair turn gray in 4 years, but my mother's hair only took 1 year. I have often said our parents are the true heroes and sheroes. So history is full of groups of collected people who come together to make something happen. Together we are always better and more than the sum of our total. We are individuals made better by those with whom we labor. First, we have to get the submarine design. Then we put it on paper or the computer. Then we pass it along to another group who will figure out how to go about putting it together in a 3-dimensional universe. And it takes those who labor, who carry the parts, weld the parts, who engineer the mechanics, who scrape and paint, those who prepare the food, deliver the food, to keep those who do the labor with the appropriate energy to do their job, and some support those who support the groups. I think you get the picture. Many people are behind the submarine that we christen today. It's similar to the quote on our currency, a pluribus unum, from many one. We have SSN 800, but many participated in the reality of it being here today. This is no ordinary submarine, but wait, is there a thing as the most advanced sea vessel in the world being ordinary? And those who crew the submarine are not ordinary sailors. They are professionals with countless hours of training behind what will be their deployments, submerged for 3 months at a time. Therefore, their uniqueness and their willingness to defend our country is something special indeed. We depend on each other. We need each other. And in short, we could not exist, triumph, or succeed without each other. 67 years ago, when I entered Little Rock Central High School, I did not know all of the other black students who would be there. I knew that there would be 2,000 white students, but I didn't know them either. It was the first day of school, and the usual thoughts went through my mind. First of all, I was happy to be going to high school. It was being a 10th grader, the first time leaving junior high school and going into junior high school and going into high school. Who would become my friends? Would I like my teachers? Would I make it to the class on time? Would I be successful in my studies since I had missed 3 weeks into getting into school? It was much like starting a new job and work on a submarine, I would imagine. How will you get along with those with whom you work? The first day with strangers working together can turn them into friends. I do know while the 9 of us were not friends going into Central, we came out as friends and family. And 67 years later, we are still friends and family. We were forged by our labor in our workplace. Those who have worked together to make this submarine a reality will forever have that in common. You are a part of a crew who built Arkansas. Your craftsmanship, your attention to detail, and your support for each other in the workplace made today a reality. As humans, each of us needs to feel useful, to be productive, to be able to take pride in a job well done. My father was a brick mason, and so was my grandfather and my great-grandfather. In fact, my relatives helped build Central High School in 1927. There were many a car ride by the school, which once it was completed, the architects of America named it the most beautiful high school in America. And it took $1.5 million, 1927 to build that school. My grandfather spoke proudly about being one of the crew members who built the school. Being able to point to something you have done that will outlast and outlive you is a worthy achievement. When my grandfather pointed to Central High, my enrollment there was only a dream. But plans must begin with a dream. First, you have to think it. Then you consider what you need to do to be ready to make the thought a reality. Whether you will participate in the building of it, lead the crew, the attention to educating yourself to master the details of some small job is critical. For in a play, there is no small parts. So for you, this was not a small job. We offer a grateful nod to each of you who have some part in building Arkansas. Surely this is an achievement to which you can point to with pride. Because we were named the Little Rock Nine as the sponsors of the Arkansas, we have embraced this opportunity to understand just a tiny bit more about your job and your traditions. We know that it is a highly trained, specialized group of people who built the submarine, and another highly trained, specialized group of men and women who will run it once it leaves the shipyard. We know that we cannot understand the depth of your knowledge and your skill, but we can appreciate it, and we are honored and humbled to have a role in this sponsorship. We thank Jennifer Boykin, President of Newport News Shipbuilding, and congratulate her on her upcoming retirement. We also thank Commander Michael Huber, there you are, who will command Arkansas, and those who built this awesome submarine. And thank you, family and friends who have traveled far and wide to witness this event and support us. And most of all, God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Ms. Lanier. Your words inspired all of us. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. In just a few minutes, Ms. Lanier and the other sponsors will join me, Secretary Del Toro, and Arkansas Commanding Officer Michael Huber on the bottle break platform. When we get in position, the shipyard whistle will sound, and for those of you who are visiting for the first time, I say whistle, I mean really, really loud horn, and that will indicate that it's time to christen SSN 800. Following the christening, we will return to the stage for one more special presentation. So, without further ado, let's make our way to the bottle break stand.
class. I christen thee United States ship Arkansas. May God bless this submarine and all those who sail in her.
Well, congratulations, Ms. Lanier, on that incredible first swing smash. Before we conclude, we have a special presentation for our sponsors. It is tradition after the christening to present the christening bottle, or I can personally say what is left of the christening bottle, and to our sponsors. The bottle today is enclosed in a handmade wooden box made by shipbuilders in our own pattern shop. Arkansas's bottle box will be presented by Shaniqua Johnson, an electrician in the Virginia class program. If our sponsors would please stand. All right, congratulations. Before we close, I would like to take a moment to thank you for giving me the opportunity to work with such an incredible team of shipbuilders, an incredible team of Navy partners, and an incredible team of community leaders. Thank you all for all that you do, and I'm very confident and excited to see your continued success. I know you will lead on to greatness. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony. As you leave, please be sure to pick up an Arkansas Christening poster to match your one-of-a-kind blanket. Thank you all very much. Be safe. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful day and weekend.